This is Andi Purewal for ID Boxing. I'm joined by Kalle Sauerland here in London. Kalle, firstly, how is life treating you?
How are you, Andy? Long time no see, my friend. How you been? You all right?
I'm good. It's been a while. How's things been going for you?
Great. Fantastic announcement today. Repeat or revenge. Smith versus Eubank 2. I call it revenge or revenge because there's only one answer there. We're very confident, and you know, rematches are always interesting, and they're normally interesting because there's like a tight decision, scandal, whatever it is. This was exactly the opposite, but it was a result that no one expected, and this, I'm trying to think the right word for it. This spectacle that we're going to see, and it is like everything rolled into one on that night, is going to be so exciting because you've got the sort of the mental state of Eubank that people will be talking about. Listen, Eubank, don't worry about Eubank's mental state. Yes, he's hurt. Yes, he's angry. Yes, he's gonna take that out on his camp first of all, because that's where this fight's going to be won, and you're going to see an absolute lion unleashed in that ring on June 17th, live on Sky Sports Box Office.
Liam Smith, in no uncertain terms, is confident that he can repeat what happened in the first fight. We know how proud of a man Junior is with that in mind. How damaging to his own pride was that first defeat to take? To Liam Smith, that is.
He's not a man of many words, Junior. He keeps his thoughts to himself like that, but you know, his actions, like I said up there, you know, he didn't really consult with the team. There was a lot of different opinions within the team, and that wasn't, you know, the highly spoken about Conor Ben discussion. It was about, you know, do you take a different fight? Do you take a tune-up? Do you take time off? There are loads of things being bandied around, but he's his own man. You know, he's got a team. Don't listen too much to his team. He does what he thinks is right. He's brought up in a fighting family. You know, he wants to put that right, and I wasn't joking up there when the way I found out was he put it out on Instagram. You know, he did. He told me in the dressing room straight after. Then he went off at his family time, and suddenly, boom, there it is. I'm up, can't even call anyone, in the middle of an airplane, and got the Wi-Fi on, and there I see Junior's Valentine's Day proposal.
Kalle, with it being Valentine's Day when he invoked the rematch clause, why so long for it to officially be announced?
It's not long, Andy. It's not long. It's not long. Make a big fight, and I'll show you what long is. Do you want me to name you a few other fights that maybe could look at the example of? We put the first fight on January 20-something, 21 I think it was. The rematch is on June 17. I'm just calculating the amount of days. It's super fast. Given that it was a stoppage as well, given that I'm sure that Liam was celebrating in every pub in Liverpool for about a month afterwards. You know, this is fast, very fast. So no, not buying it. No, there's certain things that had to be right for us, and that had to be done.
The reason why I bring that up is that I'm sure obviously a lot of people have asked you about those reports of a potential Eubank Jr-Benn fight.
I'm going to give you exactly the same answer.
Before I allow you to do that, Ben, up until last week when UKAD officially charged Conor Ben, is that when the team made the final decision to go ahead with the Liam Smith fight?
No. In fact, last week I was in the States promoting a show in New Orleans, and then the UKAD decision would have had no implication on what was being discussed. So, no relevance to it. That wasn't like, oh, now we're going to do the fight. No, that decision was made a long time ago.
Behind the scenes then, what discussions and how far did they go about that potential with Conor? June 3rd, Abu Dhabi was obviously the date which was being spoken about.
Yeah, that was it. You just answered your own question.
That's only as far as they went. Percy's, nothing like that was discussed?
Absolutely not, no. Nothing. Not in writing, not verbally, not contractually. It was discussion about a date, and pretty sure, as you can see, that date's not going ahead at the moment. So, you know, it was a discussion. It was, you know, but don't forget, we do a lot of business with Matchroom. We promote fighters together. We've probably put on a dozen pay-per-views together. So no, we discuss loads of different ideas, and a lot of them nothing comes of them, and that was it. You know, so yes, there was a discussion. I don't even think there was a proper meeting on it. So it's not like this was like down the road and in the last second a UKAD decision came out, which I still can't work out why people ask the question, how could that affect if everyone knows that the fight was taking place in Abu Dhabi, how that would affect that when, you know, we're still waiting to hear from the BBC, British Board of Boxing Control and UKAD about the handling of last summer and why we trained for 5 weeks and we promoted a fight for 5 weeks and everyone knew and we didn't know.
It seems to be from the reports that the board were reaching out to other governing bodies, other commissions out in the States and what have you to try and block Conor Benn effectively from gaining a licence.
Obviously, I've seen it, I've heard it. I don't promote Conor Benn. You know, ask Eddie. I don't know.
Do you know if that's possible for the board to reach out?
No, I think that boards talk to each other, and I'm sure that you know, certain people from the British Boxing Board aren't happy that Conor Benn is able legally to box abroad. But is that something that they can stop? I can't see how.
Kalle, just before I let you go, how does Junior right the wrongs of what happened back in January?
By doing exactly the same thing back to him.
Does he do that?
I don't think exactly the same way. Different fighter. I think he's got to discover that hurt and turn that into the camp, first of all, and that camp leads to the fight performance. And can he do it? His personality is cut out to do that. The pride, he's as macho as he gets, and that will have hurt him. But it's now about turning that hurt into a fierce camp.
Just a final one, Kalle. Can I get an update on Usyk-Hrgovic? We know that he was looking at that potential Alexander Usyk fight. It seems like Usyk will face Dubois next. Where does that lie with him?
There's talk about the Dubois fight since a long time. I think they're questioning the medicals at the moment. I don't know. We're waiting to hear from the IBF because if it's not Dubois, then it's Hrgovic next. So there's no ifs and buts about it.
Have you continued those conversations over Usyk-Hrgovic?
Ongoing.
Brilliant, Kalle. As always, a pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks, Andy. Thank you.